The 12th installment into the DCEU, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, is finally here, directed by David F. Sandberg. I wasn't really excited going into this movie. I didn't like the trailer whatsoever. It felt very messy and choppy. But after checking it out, is it as bad as everyone says? It isn't terrible, but it ain't great. Hey everyone, what's going on? Welcome to the channel and thank you so much for taking your own time out to check out this spoiler review right here for Shazam, Fury of the Gods, which once again stars Zachary Levi. We've also got Butler and many of the other returning cast from the first outing, but we have some new additions here like Rachel Zegler, Helen, Mirren and Lucy Liu. And essentially the plot of this whole movie is when vengeful gods arrive on Earth, they look to take back magic that was stolen from them. However, it's up to Shazam and the gang to stop them and save the world. So it's not exactly a plot that hasn't been done before, let's face it. This isn't anything unwholly original. We've seen this kind of superhero movie before, very similar plot also. Yeah, the trailer was not great for this movie whatsoever. It was messy, it was choppy, it literally showed like everything that was going to be in this movie. So I was like, well, I've just seen it all in like 2.5, 3 minutes, however long it was on for. And after checking out the movie, I can actually say, it wasn't a bad time. Overall, I can't say that I felt like the runtime dragged or anything like that. I mean, yeah, a little bit, I guess, but I can say that, I was entertained. This is definitely kind of like a fun popcorn and nachos kind of based movie, and definitely a better movie than some of the recent superhero stuff we've had, because some of the recent stuff has been appalling. Ant-Man 3. I would say Helen Mirren and Lucy Liu, being honest with you, were my favourite elements of the movie. They're the villains here, and it's teasing the trailer, so that's not exactly a spoiler. Yeah, I would say that they were definitely my favourite element here. I can't say that they were utterly fantastic or villains that I'm going to remember for the rest of my life, or like say like a Thanos kind of level, or like the Joker from The Dark Knight and stuff like that. But I can say that they were good. They were enjoyable for like the material that they're given. It was nice to see Helen Mirren as a villain, because I was like, Helen Mirren's getting up there in age, no offense to her, but I was like, her as a villain in a DC movie, I was like, okay, well, prove me wrong, let me see what she's got. And yeah, I think for the most part, the scenes that she's in, she brought a good role, to be honest with you. And again, nothing memorable. This is a CGI heavy movie. At times, the CG isn't too bad. I can't say all of it's terrible, because there is some elements used where I was like, oh, that looks pretty cool. Yeah, okay, I was buying into that moment that was happening. And the kind of final positive I can really give this movie is, yeah, at least it kind of continued on from the first outing that I actually enjoyed. It didn't reference it too much, but the first outing, at least there's something that happens in that movie, which you do get reminded of a quick flashback, by the way. So if you haven't seen the first one in a while, which I hadn't, I only seen it originally in the cinema, didn't really mind that movie. Definitely better than this one, I will say. But there's a little flashback at least that explains kind of the purpose of this outing, which is pretty good. I at least give them credit for acknowledging that first outing. And also, my final positive of going into spoilers is there's a very cool cameo here. And as soon as I heard the theme tune for this character, I was over the moon. Definitely one of the biggest saving graces of the movie. And wow, it was so nice to see that superhero. That's all I'm going to say without spoilers. Now, going right down into my negatives down here is, again, as I said, with an abundance of CGI this relies on, there's a lot of moments you notice that this is a green screen filled movie, or blue screen, whatever they're using. There's just some shots here that look rough. And I can appreciate, my due to like kind of time strains on the CG artists, or maybe the budget that was involved. And I know that it's an overabundance and it's relying on that. I get that, but there's just some shots that look really bad. And it didn't take me out the moment, but it's one of those things you notice. And I'd say the biggest issue is with Shazam, Fury of the Gods is two things for me personally. Number one is the fact that this is a very predictable story. You know exactly what's going to happen. You know how it's going to play out in the first act. Okay, the second act, okay, we're going to end up here. And then the third act, right, we're going to finish the movie. You know exactly how it's going to play out. It's nothing where you're surprised or like blown away. Maybe the cameo, it's pretty cool, but that's the only kind of, I guess, shock factor this has different. And the second thing that I did not like about this movie and really kind of knocked it down a lot for me was the humor was absolutely abysmal. Seriously, I don't know what they were trying to do with the comedic timing in here. Some of the comedic jokes is pretty much in the trailer, which wasn't funny to start with, so when they happened in the movie I was like, I've heard this joke, wasn't funny, still not really funny now. That's not me being a grouch, guys, it just wasn't funny. Yeah, the comedic timing just wasn't great. I didn't get a chuckle out of this movie whatsoever, and it just tries to go for too much humor. So, you know, in the first movie, it had this really emotional storyline to it about the children. They try to go for an emotional beat also in this outing, but I feel like it's kind of like a back burner, and when they're trying to get to a serious moment, they outdo that moment with a stupid comedic line or two, and I'm just like, it just feels so forced. The dialogue it doesn't feel like a lot of natural dialogue's happening here. It feels like, wow, okay, they've got the prompter up here. Oh, hold on, let me just read this line. Then you've got David Sandberg like. So overall, guys, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, not exactly a great time, but not exactly a bad time either. Fun enough movie. Again, as I say, popcorn, nachos, definitely get them in if you're going to check this one out. But as for my overall score, I'm going to give the movie a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Have you seen Shazam, Fury of the Gods, or are you yet to see it? I'll leave any and all comments down below so we can continue the discussion down there. If you've enjoyed this review, give it a big thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel by clicking the red button down below so I can see you again on a future video. I do have a Patreon. There is a couple of levels that you can select starting from £2 per month. They include a host of bunch of different perks, early access to videos. You can even request movies for me to watch and review on Patreon exclusive or onto my YouTube channel, and you get so much more perks. And so the link to my Patreon is down below in the description box. Go check it out. And I want to give a big massive thank you to all my awesome Patreons on level 1 or 2 for supporting the channel. It really means a lot, and they all have YouTube channels, so please go show them some support. And until the next time that I see you guys, I'll be seeing you later.